Mods on console have been a point of contention for quite a long time now. The topic has long been a point of friction between platform creators, game developers, and players. Conan Exiles is far from the first game to suffer these issues, and most likely it won't be the last. If we cast our mind back to early 2016, Fallout 4 had been out for a couple of months and the movement for mods on console was picking up steam. This was something I was personally quite invested in, as I really enjoyed Fallout 4 at the time, and it seemed like something Bethesda was actively pushing for. If you were around for those times, you may remember how that turned out. After a long struggle, Fallout 4 eventually got mods on consoles. Xbox got a pretty good deal, pretty much allowing mods across the board as long as they weren't too big, with Xbox social media endorsing the addition heavily. PS4 players, unfortunately, got the short straw, with mods only being allowed if they used code already in the game and not anything new created by a modder. Nevertheless, even though the PS4 folk, which at the time included me, did get the bum end of the deal, people were still pretty happy about it, and I had my fair share of fun with Fallout 4 mods on console. Flash forward to now, and it seems like the debate crops up semi-regularly. With consoles becoming more powerful, and games becoming broader in both scope and audience, it's strange that mods still haven't really been fully adopted. Even with all the console war shenanigans, I've not seen anyone on any platform disagree that mods should be available for console, especially for popular games, so why aren't we there yet? Well, that's hard to say. There's probably lots of different reasons. It's no secret that the past few years have been taken over by a clamour for crossplay on console, even in games that, in my opinion, likely shouldn't have it. Some games have attempted workarounds for mods over the years to varying degrees of success. Bethesda tried to add content akin to mods with the Creation Club. Meanwhile, Ark Survival Evolved officially adopted popular modded maps to great acclaim. They also absorbed parts of mods like Primitive Plus to varying degrees of success. Conan Exiles is a bit of a weird situation. Whilst Bethesda in 2016 was more than large enough to have a sway with Sony and Microsoft to be able to push for mods on console, Funcom isn't in the same scenario, and the same can be said for a lot of other game developers. Many will agree that Conan Exiles does have some more pressing issues to address, especially regarding player retention and regular updates. Those two issues have been recognised, and the first steps towards fixing them have been made with the introduction of the Age system, so assuming that goes well, the mod situation will crop up again. So what is the situation with mods in Conan Exiles on console? Well, currently Funcom has gone for the slower but arguably easier approach of adopting popular modded features into the base game. They've done this with a number of additions, adding emotes to followers, transmogs with the illusion system, adding the Orb of Nurgle, improving the building system, adding ignore stability mode, and of course the build anywhere mode. The features I've listed, along with some others, are clearly designed to replicate the utility of some popular mods available on PC through both the Nexus or the Steam Workshop. There are probably some other features Funcom added that I have missed out on, but I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. There are, of course, pros and cons to this approach. A massive upside is that once these features are implemented, you don't have to rely on mod developers to update their mods, nor do you have to worry about conflicts with other mods. The downside, however, is that they are often imperfect replications, and of course development on these features is much slower. The latter is a given. Mod developers have the luxury of being able to work on pretty much whatever they want, whereas the Funcom team will have to balance their efforts across a variety of current and future features being added to the game. In regards to the imperfections, it's a bit of a subjective one. A good example is the Build Anywhere mode, which is designed to replicate the functionality of less building placement restrictions. It allows you to basically build anywhere, sure, but it does omit the finer functionality of LBPR, such as allowing you to rotate placeables to an extreme degree, or to place fences in doorways without messing around with other pieces. Of course, if I had to choose, I would definitely rather have Funcom actually adopt these features natively rather than no chance of having them at all. That being said, the PC scene generally has done it a little bit better, but that's a given. Modders always do tend to do these features better and with better functionality. So with that being the current approach, what is the future for mods on console for Conan Exiles? Funcom knows that their player base love mods, and they know that the players on console would kill for them, and I'm sure that almost all PC players, including myself, would want to see mods made available on console. The folks on PlayStation and Xbox are a resilient sort, and even without the crazy functionality of mods like Pippi, there are still servers out there attempting to do what they can with the base game systems. Console players have a fairly long history of doing the best they can with the tools they're given. I remember when I first started getting into GTA roleplay a few years ago, and I heard somebody tell me that there were roleplay servers, kind of servers on console, that would basically have a lobby of people that agreed to roleplay in a certain way, and they'd do their best with the base game features, which on GTA were not very forgiving towards roleplay. That being said, as I mentioned earlier, Conan Exiles has definitely faced more pressing issues over the past couple of years. Whilst Age of Sorcery definitely has helped just in terms of raw player numbers and retention, the work is far from over to provide Conan Exiles with a solid base of regular and enjoyable content that will keep people invested. If we go with the optimistic assumption that those issues are eventually rectified, could we finally see mods become available on console for Conan Exiles? I think Funcom would definitely want that to be a thing, as would the players. I think the main opposition is going to be platform creators. Be it for security concerns, back-end system issues, or complex financials, platform creators always seem to be the stumbling point when it comes to mods. And frankly, with the pushes for cross-play being so heavy in the recent years, I don't think it's very high up the priority list for companies like Microsoft and Sony. Whilst Funcom has definitely been trying to work around it by implementing some mod features into the base game, it seems that modding just isn't that high on the priority list for most nowadays, especially compared to, again, crossplay. The console player base for Conan is likely just as large as the player base, if not larger. Them having access to mods would be revolutionary for them, opening up an untold wealth of potential for future content. Hopefully, the availability of mods on console will change in the future, and console players too can enjoy the massive breadth of mods that PC players have for a good while. If you enjoy my content, all the links to my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Patreon, Host Havoc affiliate page, NordVPN discount and NordPass discount are available in the description below. However, of course, you can simply just leave a like, a comment or subscribe. Any of those are very greatly appreciated. Patrons get a bunch of nice benefits, including sneak peeks of videos, your name in every video, custom made wallpapers in 1080p and 4K resolutions, full-size build blueprints, Discord roles and more. That being said, a massive thanks to all of our esteemed coffee cultists on screen now for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.